Hello. Welcome to my channel. It's been a minute, but yeah, it's been quite a hectic few 2 weeks. First, let me apologize for missing last week. I had a demon that just came and overtook my life. My face was swollen with a toothache. But here I am today, ready to rumble. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for those who've subscribed and shared. Thank you so much. The support is truly appreciated. Please keep doing that, keep sharing, keep getting more people to subscribe. We truly appreciate. Okay, today I want to talk about a topic that is very dear to me. I feel like it's been part of my formation in life. It's been the basis of who I am today. You don't be surprised when you find out what the topic is, and I'll break it down to you. I just want to talk about loss and the effects of loss. I know that we've all experienced or suffered loss at one point or another in our lives. We've lost loved ones, we've lost jobs, we've lost generally, even losing your documents. It affects you somehow. We've missed opportunities, which I feel still translates to loss. So this sparked a thought in my head on the 10th of August, which was this past Monday, which was a 7th year anniversary of my grandfather's death. Those who know me know how close I was to my grandfather. That guy was my life. Like, he was my G. So 7 years ago, on the 10th of August, I lost my grandfather, which was the biggest turning point in my life because I feel like he was the pillar of my life. He was the biggest support I had. So then I thought, we go through a lot, we experience so much in our lives, and sometimes without even realizing the effects that it has in our lives. But thinking about what the loss of my grandfather did for me, then I started realizing so many things, that have happened in my life since then. And actually, even before then. I'm just going to go into some other aspects of my life that I've been through. So I'm like I told you in my first episode that I'm born of married parents and whatnot, which automatically displays a perfect family picture. Yes, but no, not in my case. Somehow, somewhere down the line, as I was with my parents, which I started living with when I think I mentioned around 11. But I've always had a tiff with my dad. Like, when ever felt like you were born, but this person that is your parent, in this case my dad, just akatanzi, like he's got no regard for you, or I don't know what it was, but I've always felt like that has been the case with my dad, right? So growing up, he was always very strict, always like strict, lolo, that you can't even understand what's going on with this guy. So he always used to say, no, I don't want you guys to get married. You're just gonna grow and stay stay at home, look after my fields, which was really weird because every parent wants their child to grow, flourish, go out and start their lives. Not my dad. My dad always said, "Nitohlala la kaya, you're not going anyway." So being the extrovert or extravert that I am at times, we at some point got to loggerheads because growing I was growing. I was not any young anymore. I was growing. At some point I got a boyfriend and he found out about it and he was not pleased at all. Reprimanded me. Well, I got a thorough beating. I used to get a couple of those. But it happened that he found out that I was still seeing that guy. So he disowned me, and I went to live at my grandparents. Mind you, my grandparents have always been my biggest support because while my parents were still at varsity, I was staying with them, like I mentioned before. So I stay with my grandparents. My mom always says the problem you and your dad have the same mind, both thick or hot-headed. Well, I don't know about that, but apparently when he chased me, I shouldn't have left. But if a person says, get out of my house, how are you then going to fight that? On what ground are you going to be fighting? Because vele, yeah, and yena uthi phuma. You know what I mean? So, I went and stayed with my grandparents. But at some point, I went back to apologize. I kept apologizing, but he was just not having it. For years, I kept apologizing, but he was like, no, it's not happening. So then this brings me back to the loss I suffered when I lost my grandfather. That guy has been, my biggest support, my biggest support. So when I lost him, then I realized, oh snap, I actually have no one, because my family, they love me, they are there, but you can sense, because that sense of support is no longer there. I've lost the biggest pillar, which was my grandfather. So things started happening gay, because I feel like this thing, it's like there's a set path for everyone to be on, but then there's the special breed, my kind, where you find that it's like our path is slightly different. We are not on the normal path, you find yourself constantly fighting different things, one thing or another, from family to, it's like there's an aura or covering of I don't want to call it struggle, but of just being unique, You're just not like everyone else, right? I think I got to realize that, especially after this loss of my grandfather. Because, first of all, I never got to bury my grandfather, by the way, because this is what was said. Wow. I remember I was pregnant with my second child at that time, who was born like 13 days after my grandfather's passing. So he was born on the 23rd of August. It's going to be his birthday just next week. So again, I got a call from my uncle, Atsige. Oh, hi Kabago. We feel you shouldn't come to the funeral. I shouldn't come to the funeral for the sake of peace. Wow, guys. Wow. I'm grieving my grandfather here, the man who raised me, the man who's been my biggest support. But now I shouldn't come and bury him for the sake of peace. What peace is this, you would ask yourself? Le peace pela yokuthi my dad is gonna be there. Remember, my dad, he decided he doesn't want us to be together. So basically my family decides they are choosing my dad over me. I'm not deserving of this family, basically. Wow. Anyway, I feel like I digressed a bit, but it's still on the same story that I'm trying to get to, the effect of loss. Because like I said, we suffer loss in so many different ways. And I thought I should just share my definition of how loss has affected me. I didn't go as I was requested, such that up to today, I don't even know where my grandfather is resting. I think I should sort that out. I need to go and see him soon. Anyway, so I didn't go to the funeral, and then thereafter, I was really left out in the open. But if there's one thing that I've learned in all of these experiences is the power of resilience, the power of staying strong, and despite everything that may be going on at that point in time, because Had I broken down myself, I don't think I'd be standing here today. But I decided, you know what, it is what it is. I probably don't have the best support system. But the most important thing, it's funny how I always say these things jokingly. Okay, maybe it's not jokingly, but like I just say it without thinking that in this world, you are on your own. You are really, really on your own. And well and good for those who have a very good support system. Yes, I envy that. I appreciate that. I acknowledge that. But I'm just talking for this party, like those who are on my corner, um, those who have suffered the same predicaments as me, that you know what, there is a thing like this that happens whereby you find yourself just like uyinhlwa, you really have no one. And for every step of our journey, you know, I feel God always provides people for this. My friend always mentions this, Sinetemba, a very good friend of mine. She always mentions how every step of your journey, there is help for each and every phase that you're in. Whenever you have no support system, somehow you find it in other platforms or in other means. You will have friends that are just coming through for you, a sisterhood, a brotherhood, or whatever it is, that will just come through for you. And that's when you realize that, you know what, yes, on this world I'm on my own, but at the end of the day we need each other. So God will always provide people for the journey, you know. So that was the effect of my loss for me, but I feel like I'm just grateful for having gone this far. And despite having missed so many opportunities, despite having been labeled, because in our society, this may be deemed as rebellion without looking at the bigger picture, you know. It's easily dismissed as rebellion, you know. But it's so important, guys, to stand up for yourself and make it work. Despite, you know, like I think I have sort of explained how I was left out in the open without anything, but, or anyone for that matter. But I somehow have managed to be where I am today. Every step of the way, supplication, and support every step of the way, you know. So I just want to talk about the importance of sticking it out and standing despite what you may have lost. We lose out on relationships. I was actually just watching a video right now of a lady who got dumped by her boyfriend, and she was literally pleading and crying, begging that can she please come back into his life. She's ready to even be a side chick. That's how desperate she was. Because apparently throughout their relationship there was an ex-boyfriend who kept calling and making contact with the girl, and the guy would always say, please stop this, and she didn't. She got dumped. She lost her relationship. You know, sometimes we hold on to useless things, compromising the things of value to us, you know. Sometimes the loss is self-inflicted, like in this case. She lost a relationship because she refused to conform or to shape up. And today she's asking to even be a side chick. You may have lost an opportunity to go to school, for example. It's still a loss. You grieve it in one way or another. You may have lost through death loved ones. But the point is to remain standing. Yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, your life may be distorted in one way or another. But voga, teach yourself, move, keep moving, you know. Allow yourself to grieve, yes. Allow yourself to realize the reality that surrounds you, yes. But having figured out all of that, arise, girls. Enter them, make it work. Against all odds, make it work. And in my journey, there's things that I've learned that you might have seen my previous video where I was making my submission to Standard Bank brand influencer. search. And for me, that experience was not just me showing up and wanting to be chosen. Yes, that was the sole purpose, but for me, I was trying to get rid of the hold that fear had over my life. I understand that on the flip side, though, the black child, I'm sorry to dash the race card, but I feel like as blacks, we've suffered for so long. We've been enslaved, even though slavery is no longer with chains and whatnot, working the white man's field. I feel like it is still existing in some sort of way, because the narrative from back in the day has been, black child, you are so unfortunate and there's nothing you can do to escape this misfortune. The fact that you are black automatically makes you unfortunate, automatically places you on the backseat of things. And that has been the narrative that has been played directly or indirectly, you know. And I feel like our parents, and going backwards, still had a strong effect of this brainwash, such that it sort of got spilled over even to our generation somehow. For me, I feel that happened. I was actually thinking about it. Oh my gosh. How, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep mentioning my dad, and I'm not trying to throw shade, but I'm just mentioning my experiences. My dad is the type of person, I guess he's borderline perfectionist, hey? So he would always want you to behave a certain way. He would always want you to live your life the way that is pleasing to him, such that if you find yourself pursuing things that are outside of this confine of this templates that he had, you would not make it, because he would not allow it to happen. And he would always lash out things like how useless you are, how you won't make it, how you, and I feel like that's what constantly kept being drilled into my subconscious, hey? And growing up, I was always this person that I know I can do it, I know I have potential, but then I was always enveloped with fear and uncertainties and doubts, you know? And with the big personality that I had, which I feel was sort of always being suppressed growing up, it's like, you know, conformity, you need to behave a certain way. And if you come out of that expected way of things, then they try to bring you back and suppress you. Maybe it's not even deliberate, you know, but because society has been framed to say this is the way that you should go. So if you try to do it any other way, you know. So, oh my gosh, for me this is wow, just talking about it makes me so a bit somehow. Because I'm just realizing that, oh my gosh, all this while but it's okay. You know how they say, to solve a problem, realizing a problem, then it means you're halfway to solving it, you know. But what I'm trying to get to is the fact that let's be, guys. When you move and make traction and make moves, there's some sort of personal or self. You are happy. You are gratified. Self gratification, and the more you make the wins, the more you will keep moving, you know. So yes, we've had losses, yes, we've suffered, but this should not be a defining narrative for our lives. Overcome, arise, keep going, keep trying to open the doors, keep knocking, and you will amaze yourself. Instead of just sitting in a pity party with really things are not going well because ABC. Well, I was actually listening to a show called Kalamdumba Dumbane. Most of you who are in Eswatini will probably know it, but for those who are watching, probably not from Eswatini, it's like it's a talk show, a radio talk show, but a traditional one where people write in with problems, and then these two guys that are in studio help to solve your problem for you, you know, or give advice on how you can solve it. So I was listening to Kalam Dumba Dumbanege the other day, and this guy writes in, he says, he's got issues, his life hasn't been going well, like all his life, he's just been struggling, it's been struggle after struggle. So he went to consult with seers, and they told him that he needs to do umsebenzi, you know, perform some ritual for his grandfather. He didn't mention if the grandfather was alive or not, but I suppose he was dead. That's why he has to do umsebenzi. Yeah. So he has to do this umsebenzi for his grandfather. Manje, like he has said, the problem is he has not worked all his life. He doesn't even have the money to do the umsebenzi. So he's writing in to request for assistance from the program, that can they please borrow him 1,000 rand so he can perform this ritual for his late grandfather, and then his things are going to open up. I found it very amusing, you know. I read a book, it's called The Miseducation of the Negro. There's a part where it says, once you control a person's mind, you don't have to worry about their actions. And I feel like somehow we've been exposed to these things that were said to us over and over again, how it's impossible to do this because of this, how you cannot do this because of this, how if you've not done umsebenzi, then your things will not go well. Not that I'm disregarding the importance of this exercise, no, but I'm just saying, I feel like it's a mindset issue, guys. Like, if you snap out of this control or this confines of the mind, the mental confines, yay, guys, you'll be unstoppable. I truly believe in this so much, and I'm work in progress myself, but I feel like we just need to have a little mindset shift, you know, go beyond, move beyond the setbacks, move beyond, you know, what we feel is okay in our books. Yes, well, I've gone through this, I've gone through that. Move beyond it. Yes, it has happened. We are not disputing it, but arise, get up, keep moving, make things happen, man. It's possible. It is truly possible. Yeah, that's just it. We've lost out on a lot of things. We've suffered loss. But let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. Let's make it happen. So those are the words of encouragement, and just to say, yeah, man, let's keep moving. I know I sound like a broken record right now, but for me, it's very important. It's very, very important. I can never overemphasize it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have yourself a great week, great weekend. And please remember to share, to like and comment, subscribe, share some more. Thank you so much. Bye.